Welcome back to the chip market, the place where we invest smarter in the world of semiconductors. Now, in our Great Silicon Divide series, we've been, laser focused on silicon. But today we're shifting our focus to a totally different battlefield in the chip war. We're going upstream to the raw materials that make our silicon world even possible. This is the new front line. We're talking about stuff like gallium, germanium, and rare earth elements like neodymium. These are really the unsung heroes of all high tech, the invisible backbone of the entire semiconductor supply chain. And, well, here's the kicker. That backbone leads directly to one country that has quietly built a near total monopoly. So you have to ask, how in the world did this happen? Well, for decades, while the West was all about chip design and cool software, Beijing was playing the long game. They were strategically pouring money into dominating not just the mining, but, and this is the crucial part, the refining of these materials. They basically built a strategic choke point right in the heart of the global tech world. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about a monopoly on mining. Rare earth elements, they're actually found all over the globe. No, the real power, the true choke point, is in the refining. That's the super complex, messy, and technically difficult job of turning raw ore into the ultra-pure metals that tech needs. And as of right now, China controls a staggering 90% of that capacity. And this dominance is all clustered together. You've got the Beyond Obo mine in Inner Mongolia. It's the richest in the world, and it's run by a state-owned giant. But the southern provinces, they might be even more important. That's where they process the heavy, rare earths, the really valuable and scarce stuff. This whole setup, the state-controlled pipeline from the mine all the way to the magnet, that's the foundation of their global power. And this is where the story takes a turn, because China isn't just sitting on this monopoly anymore. They've started to use it. This isn't some theoretical advantage we're talking about. This has become a real active economic weapon in this escalating tech war. I mean, just look at the timeline. It's a clear tit for tat. October 2022, the US drops the hammer on AI chips. Fast forward to July 2023, and bam, China hits back, targeting gallium and germanium. As the US tightens the screws, China just escalates right along with them. The message couldn't be clearer. When the US banned AI chips, China didn't respond with missiles. It responded with minerals. And the effect? It was instant and it was absolute. You see that last spike in July? That was everyone panic buying before the rules kicked in. And then in August, the tap was just turned off. Exports dropped to literally zero. This wasn't a slowdown, it was a full stop, and it sent a massive shockwave through the entire industry. So, why these two elements? Why gallium and germanium? Well, because they are absolutely critical for something called compound semiconductors. Think gallium arsenide for the 5G chips in your phone, or gallium nitride for things like advanced military radar systems. These materials aren't just, nice-to-haves. For a lot of these high-end applications, they are completely irreplaceable. There's no easy substitute. Okay, so this huge vulnerability has finally been a massive wake-up call for the West. Right now, Washington, Brussels, and Tokyo are all scrambling in this multi-billion-dollar race to build a parallel supply chain from scratch, one that doesn't have to go through Beijing. And these are the key players leading the charge. You've got MP Materials in the US, bringing America's only major rare earth mine back to life. Then there's Lynas in Australia, which is pretty much the only game in town outside of China. And over in Europe, Solvay is firing up an old refining plant in France. See the common thread here? Every single one of them is getting major strategic backing from their governments. This is industrial policy in real time. But, and this is a huge but, this is incredibly hard to do. Why? Because building a new supply chain is brutally expensive. Thanks to state subsidies and looser environmental rules in China, it costs 2 to 3 times more to do this kind of refining in the West. That cost difference is the entire reason the West offshored this industry to begin with, and it's the single biggest hurdle to bringing it back. Okay, so that brings us to the investor takeaway. For us here at the chip market, this isn't just some interesting geopolitical drama. It's a full-blown investment thesis. We're talking about the picks and shovels of the chip war. Think about it. While everyone is watching the big names downstream, the NVIDIAs and the TSMCs of the world, we're asking a different question. Where is the next strategic advantage really being built? And we think the answer is upstream. First up, MP Materials.
These guys aren't just a mine anymore. They're building out a fully integrated mine-to-magnet supply chain right here in the US, in California and Texas. This is way more than just a company. It's being treated like a piece of critical national infrastructure.
And then you've got Linus. As the only major producer of these separated rare earths outside China, this company is the absolute linchpin for any strategy to diversify. Their projects in Australia and Texas are absolutely essential to breaking China's monopoly. And if you need any more proof that this is serious, just look at this number, $110 a kilogram. That is the floor price the U.S. Department of Defense has guaranteed to MP Materials for a key rare earth blend. What this does is it totally de-risks their project from any Chinese price dumping. It's a huge signal that for Washington, this is a matter of national security, not just market forces.
So where is all this heading? We see this whole materials war playing out in one of three ways. And for investors, this is the framework you need to be watching.
Okay, scenario one is escalation. The world splits into two competing tech blocks. Not pretty. Scenario two we'll call diversification. The West's plan works, China's monopoly shrinks, and the market gets more resilient. And scenario three is managed coexistence. Basically a tense truce where both sides need each other too much to completely cut ties. At the end of the day, the big takeaway is this. This whole battle over critical materials, it's not really about geology. It's about geopolitics. It's about control. And whoever masters this part of the supply chain, well, they're going to hold a very powerful key to the future of technology for the next decade, period. If you found this deep dive valuable, do me a favor, hit that like button, share it with another investor, and make sure you subscribe to the Chip Market. We deliver this kind of actionable, data-driven analysis every single week to help you invest smarter in semis and AI. Thanks for watching.